after the ECF. So we're very happy that the PCI was considered to be an appropriate instrument for the Ghanaian authorities. In terms of the access to the capital markets, it's a sovereign decision for Ghana. We believe that going forward, based on the fiscal trajectory we have discussed with the government, would be able to finance itself comfortably from domestic markets. We discussed the debt management strategy going forward, and we believe that the resources are available, and the confidence has returned, facilitating recent access to the re-enter to the domestic capital markets, which is an ultimate milestone of the success of the government policy agenda. In our discussion with international investors, we do see a lot of interest in exposure to Ghana. The good story of Ghana has been noticed, and we get bombarded by requests from the investors to meet and talk about Ghana going forward. So whenever the government will decide to re-enter capital markets, certainly the interest will be there, of course conditional on sustained progress in terms of the reforms. What are the lessons learned from the IMF bailout? I think whenever I meet anybody asking questions about Ghana, the question I typically get is this time it's going to be different, right? So this is something which is not the question I can answer. I think Minister has given assurances. But let me just say a few words about my reflections on many discussions we have had with Ghanaian authorities. We believe that the lessons have been learned. It was very difficult, very traumatic for the Ghanaian people, for the country, to go through the crisis of 2022. And the pain has been real, and this pain has been internalized. And the reform momentum under the ECF demonstrates that the lessons have been learned on that. Going forward, of course, it's important to continue prudent policies and continue reforms. What ECF has managed is to successfully stabilize the country. But stabilization and resilience are two different things. So focus needs to be on building resilience going forward. And for that, the ultimate objective is not the constraints of the IMF coming from outside, but ultimately the strength of the domestic institutions. And this is what we really try to internalize in terms of the design of the PCI when we discuss it with our counterparts here. And the focus there is not on adjustment. The focus is rather on strengthening domestic institutions, fiscal institutions, financial institutions, to ensure that no contingent liabilities are created outside of the central government, that no quasi-fiscal activities build fiscal risk going forward, that no SOEs pose fiscal risk going forward for the government, which will, when the shock comes, materialize in a drain of public financial resources. So this is the focus, and we're quite hopeful that the lesson has been internalized, and it will be different this time.
It will be.
All right. Thank you very much. So we'll take more questions if there are any.
Good morning. My name is Maurice. I work in GTV. To the IMF team, the Bank of Ghana's negative equity position, does it pose any threats to our debt sustainability moving forward, especially with the recapitalization conversation going on? And then to the Finance Minister, you hear from some ministries, departments, and agencies that you are not releasing the money. Moving forward, is it going to be the same approach to ensure sustainability?
Thank you. My name is Echo from Google. First, to the fund. The President, your immediate right, not too long ago, gave some measure of subsidies of assault on fuel prices. How much it's costing, we do not know. But in respect of consolidation, please ask him how much is it and is he going to review it? And what are your thoughts on that?
Who is that?
After stability, what next? We have had this song for far too long. It's as though stability is the end in itself, but it isn't. What's next thing after stability? And then, the final again, people are categorizing the risks. You have energy sector risks, Bank of Ghana risks. If there be any risk to this program, to this success we have, and which could derail this economy again, what would it be, and what advice do you have for the government? Thank you. my name is Francis Into. I work with the Ghana News Agency. In the course of the implementation of the program, Ghanaians incurred some costs, including the haircuts. What is the compensation that the government has for Ghanaians? And I would also want to know what are some of the efforts that the government intends to put in place to ensure that we are borrowing at a lower cost, we are able to generate more revenue and be able to repay, especially building budgets. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
My name is